1. The mind trick. No one sees. Most people think they're poor because they don't have enough money. But in truth, they're poor because they've never learned how the rich think. They believe the switch will flip once they hit a number. 10,000 XRP, 100,000 XRP, a big windfall. They say, once I'm rich, I'll act rich. I'll think long-term. I'll invest better. I'll be calm during dips. But that mindset is the trap. Because the XRP rich list didn't wait to think rich. They started thinking different before they had results. They trained their minds during the chaos. They built conviction in silence. They imagined freedom when all they had was doubt. And that's the shift the average never makes. They wait for external proof. The rich build internal belief. They wait to feel ready. The rich act while afraid. It's not your wallet that holds you back. It's the tiny voice that says, when I have more, I'll be better. But the "you are rich" list proves the opposite. You get more when you become better. First in your mind, then in your money. This is the mind trick no one teaches. And the moment you see it, everything begins to change. 2. The illusion of playing it safe. Your brain wants to protect you. It whispers, be careful. Wait, don't move too fast. That voice sounds wise, but in crypto, caution can become a coffin, because by the time everything looks safe, it's already too late. The price moved, the window closed, the opportunity passed. The "you are rich" list wasn't built by reckless gamblers. But it also wasn't built by people who waited for guarantees. The rich took intelligent risk. They acted during uncertainty. They moved when others froze. They studied the game, picked a lane, and committed. Meanwhile, most people stay on the sidelines for years, always researching, always about to. They wait for the perfect dip, the perfect headline, the perfect friend to convince them. And when that moment finally comes, XRP is no longer 50 cents. It's $50. What looked safe was actually the most expensive decision of their life. This is how the average stay average, not because they're lazy, but because they trust fear more than vision, because they call hesitation wisdom. But the XRP rich list knows risk is the price of entry. Action is the gate. Those who wait forever never arrive. So ask yourself today, are you truly being wise, or are you just playing small? 3. They think short, not deep. Most people ask, what's the price today? Is it pumping? Should I sell now? But the rich ask something else entirely. What am I building 10 years from now? That single shift in thinking separates the average from the elite. The XRP rich list doesn't react to every chart movement. They're not glued to price alerts. They don't sell just because it's green today or red tomorrow. Why? Because they're not thinking in days. They're thinking in decades. They see XRP not as a trade, but as a foundation. While most people chase hype, switch coins, panic during dips, the rich stay calm, focused, long-term. They're not trying to win this week. They're building wealth for their children's children. And that's why the average stays average. Not because they're unlucky, but because they think short, shallow, surface level. They ask, what can I get now? The rich ask, what am I becoming through this? If you keep thinking like a consumer, you'll keep ending up broke. If you start thinking like a builder, a leader, a legacy maker, you won't just own XRP, you'll own your future. So ask yourself honestly, are you chasing a moment or crafting a destiny? 4. They treat XRP like a scratch card. Too many people treat XRP like a lucky number. They buy a small amount, then cross their fingers. They say, I hope this moons. Then they wait, like they're holding a scratch card, But hope is not a strategy, and XRP is not a lottery ticket. It's an asset, a long-term tool, a financial weapon in the hands of the prepared. The XRP rich list doesn't hope, they plan. They allocate with purpose. They track their holdings. They rebalance, study, accumulate, and think years ahead. They know where every XRP goes, and why. Meanwhile, the average person forgets what they even bought. They don't have a goal, no plan, no structure. They just want to get lucky. But wealth doesn't reward luck. It rewards intentionality. Think about this. Would you start a business by throwing money at it, then vanishing for 3 years? Of course not. But that's how most people treat their XRP. The difference is simple and brutal. Those who treat XRP casually lose casually. Those who treat it professionally grow exponentially. So the question becomes, is your XRP a lottery ticket or a business? Are you gambling or building? The rich already answered that. It's time you did too. 5. They believe comfort equals success. Most people chase comfort. A stable job, predictable days, no risk, no fear, no stretch. They think if life feels calm, they must be doing well. But here's the truth. If you're too comfortable, you're losing. Because nothing great grows in comfort. Wealth doesn't. Freedom doesn't. Legacy doesn't. Every member of the XRP rich list has been through storms. They held through crashes. They ignored the noise. They fought their own fear. They sacrificed today for a bigger tomorrow. It wasn't easy. It wasn't always exciting, but it was necessary. The average investor quits at the first sign of pain. They say, "This feels scary. I'm out." But the rich say, "This feels hard. I'm close." Discomfort isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to keep going. The people on the "You Are Rich" list didn't arrive by accident. They arrived because they walked through fire and didn't run. So next time it gets tough, don't ask, "How do I escape this feeling?" Ask instead, "What kind of person is this season trying to build in me?" That question is how comfort stops killing you and growth finally begins. 6. They follow noise, not insight. The world is loud. Every day there's a new headline, a new tweet, a new rumor, a new warning. And most people, they react. They follow the noise. One influencer says XRP is dead, they sell. Another says it's going to $10 tomorrow. They FOMO in. They let emotion drive the steering wheel. No compass, no logic, just volume. But the "You Are Rich" list doesn't flinch at noise. They don't care what's trending. They don't chase pump groups, clickbait, or panic cycles. They follow insight. They ask, what do I know about XRP's long-term fundamentals? What has on-chain data shown me for years? What's the actual plan, not the emotional impulse? They act on information, not impressions, on conviction, not convenience. That's why the rich keep climbing while others keep guessing, because insight is rare. Noise is everywhere, and most people confuse the two. If you want to make it to the XRP rich list, stop following the loudest voice in the room. Start listening to the quiet, consistent truth. In a world full of shouting, the richest minds are the ones who stay silent and steady. 7. They don't question their beliefs. You hear it all the time. If XRP was really going to take off, it would have happened by now. That sounds logical, safe, reasonable. But it's not truth. It's a belief. And it's a weak one, because the markets don't move on your timeline. Wealth doesn't arrive when your patience runs out. The greatest breakthroughs always look late, until they're right on time. The people who stay stuck are the ones who never question that voice. They hear doubt and believe it. They feel fear and obey it. They confuse delay with denial. But the XRP rich list is made of people who question everything, especially fear. They don't just ask, "Is this still possible?" They ask, "What part of me is trying to protect itself by quitting?" They challenge their hesitation. They confront their assumptions. They know every limitation begins as an unquestioned belief, and if you don't pause and examine what you're believing, you'll keep repeating the same results. The rich don't just study charts, they study themselves. That's how they break generational cycles. That's how they earn what others only dream about. So ask yourself now, what fear are you calling wisdom? What lie are you still treating as truth? The answer might be the key to your next level.
8. They wait to feel ready. I'm just not ready yet. I'll wait for the next dip. I'll start when I have more certainty. These are the most expensive words in wealth creation. Because here's the truth. Ready never comes. There's no perfect moment, no guaranteed signal, no voice from the sky that says, "Now is the time." The XRP rich list was built by people who moved anyway. They didn't wait for headlines to validate them. They didn't wait for everyone else to agree. They acted when it was hard, when it was uncertain, when it didn't feel safe. They chose commitment over comfort, conviction over clarity, decisions over delays. That's what separates those who rise from those who remain. The average person stays stuck because they worship readiness. They think success comes after the fear goes away. But the rich know success comes through the fear, not after it. And every day you wait for the perfect setup, the window narrows, the opportunity shrinks, the regret grows. So stop asking if you're ready. Start asking if you're done waiting, because no one ever felt ready at the start. But the ones who moved early? They're the ones already sitting on the "you are rich" list, while others are still watching.
9. They think mindset is optional. Most people chase the chart. They follow price. They track trends. They obsess over entries, exits, and predictions. But they forget one thing, the most important thing: mindset. To them, mindset is fluff, a nice bonus, a soft topic. But here's the brutal truth. Mindset is not decoration. It's infrastructure. It's the very foundation of every decision, every reaction, every result. The XRP rich list isn't made of people with secret price models. It's made of people with mental discipline, people who stay calm in chaos, people who don't flinch when the market drops 40%, people who can hold not because of hype, but because of inner strength. Meanwhile, the average investor knows all the technicals, but none of the emotional control. And that's why they sell low. That's why they FOMO high. That's why they stay stuck, despite all their research. Because mindset isn't a side dish, it's the engine. And without it, the car doesn't move. It crashes. So if you're serious about building wealth, don't just ask, "What's the XRP price?" Ask, "Is my thinking ready to handle what I'm building?" Because the wallet follows the mind. And if the mind isn't built strong, nothing you hold will last. 10. Change how you think, or stay where you are. There comes a moment where no new coin, no market pump, no news cycle can save you. Because the real breakthrough isn't external, it's internal. There's no middle ground. Either you lead your mind, or your mind leads you. Either you own your beliefs, or they own you. Either you rise with intention, or you stay exactly where you are. Most people think it's about XRP, but the truth is harsh. If you're not rising, it's not your XRP, it's your inner script. That quiet story you keep repeating, "I'm not ready yet. I'll buy more next time. I'm too late. I don't want to lose." That script is the prison. And the XRP rich list is filled with people who rewrote it. They took control. They challenged their old patterns. They traded fear for discipline, hesitation for conviction. And once they did, everything changed. Not just their wallets, but their lives. So here's the choice. Keep thinking like before, and stay like before. Or make a clean break. Reprogram your mind. Take control. Because mindset isn't just part of the journey. It is the journey. And the rich list? It's not about XRP alone. It's about who you had to become to truly earn it.